Transgender swimmer Lia Thomas spoke about the backlash she received after she beat two female Olympic medalists. Now, Thomas cleared up the misconception that she transitions so she would have an advantage. She said, I transitioned to be, I can't say the word today. I transitioned to be happy, to be true to myself. The biggest change for me is that I'm happy. In sophomore year, where I had my best times competing with men, I was miserable. What are your thoughts on what Lia said? Al, what do you think about this story?
You know, I get what Lia is saying. I feel like what I'm learning about the transgender community is as you identify, you know, I feel like it's important as you to understand how you identify. So I totally get that. This is what I don't get though. Why did you accept a 4-year men's swimming scholarship to UPenn if you knew that you always felt like a woman and you knew that you were going to transition? That's my first question. My second question is, don't you think as a human being or as an athlete, being on a male team 1 year and then 12 months later being on a female team is just unfair? Like as an athlete, as a collegiate athlete, wouldn't you think that just doesn't seem right? You know, I'm just trying to break it down to the basics here. So in my mind, the only way that I think that we should solve this in a fair way is that we got to figure out how to create some type of transport academy or some type of transport league so that everyone feels equal when they get in the water or on the basketball field or on the track field.
This Lia Thomas irritates the hell out of me. I wonder if Lia, when Lia was identifying as a man, was a better swimmer and was top 5, would she have done this? It just seems so suspicious to me. He was ranked 482 1 year. You come back as a female swimmer, you whipping everybody's butt. I don't know. I don't want to say she just transitioned for this. I don't want to say that, but I don't think that this is not a good situation to me. I really, as a female collegiate athlete, I would be devastated. I would be devastated to have to compete against someone who just transitioned within the last few months, who's on a male scholarship. This isn't someone that grew up, that did this years in advance and they've been working on this. This is someone that, let me compete. Oh, I'm almost 500th place. Let me go ahead and switch up. That's what it's giving me. I hate to be mad. I don't like it. Q, what you think about this story? I'm gonna get canceled.
So as somebody who once upon a time struggled with their sexuality, somebody who was once in the closet, somebody who had to go through years of figuring out who I was from an identity perspective, I am going to go out on a limb and extend some grace and say that I do not believe that she transitioned solely to win medals, right? Because the payoff is just not there, considering the backlash that a person receives transitioning from the greater world. The payoff just isn't there worth some damn collegiate medals, okay? Period, hard stop. However, I also agree that it is messed up and it is not fair that last semester you were a man and now this semester you are a woman and you are kicking ass. That is evidentiary of the fact that there is some type of competitive advantage that you still physically have. I completely understand that you want to be a part of the greater woman world, but like I have always said, and this is just not for trans people, this goes for Black people, Asian people, white people, women, men. There are some things in this world we just can't have. And that's just really what it boils down to. It's unfair. It sucks. It's not right. But there are just some things you can't have. And this may be one of them.
And that's the way of the world, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of things that we can't necessarily do because we just can't. And that's the way of the world. And it's not fair. There's a lot of things that are not fair. I wish I could identify as a 13-year-old so I can go compete against 13-year-olds now and whip all their asses, okay? And run 100 meters. I wish I could. Now, there's a comment here I want to read from Baller K that said, thank you, Al. Even Caitlyn Jenner stated that after 7 years of hormones, she still has a physical advantage over women. That's true. you know? I mean, the way that she is decimating the competition,
Yeah.
you know? And I hope I'm not trivializing it by saying she transitioned just for the swimming, but it does look hella suspicious that you were there on a manned scholarship and you transitioned and now you.
And here's the thing for me. It would seem to me that you're not going to be a swimmer all your life, but you're going to be trans all your life if that's who you truly are. It would seem to me that you would lend your resources to the betterment of the overall view of trans people and leave the swim stuff alone. Because right now, you're actually making it very hard for people to process all of this trans stuff when they're already coming into it bigoted, ignorant, filled with bias and religion. You know what I'm saying? You're not making it easier for people to wrap their head around this, trying to have your cake and eat it too. So pick a struggle.
We have a comment from Deion Taylor that says, this is not a question of identity. This is biology. It's completely unfair for women's sports. Call Me Val says male bodies are built different. Regardless of what you identify or think in your mind, it isn't fair. I think you're absolutely right about a trans league. And I know that still will feel like to the trans community, I'm sure it's, you know, hey, this is part of, we want to be with who we identify with. We are women. I understand that. But until we work out the physical advantages that are still there, it really isn't fair. It's just like adults don't compete with the kids. It's a strength advantage. There's a difference. There is a difference. And
you want to know what's funny? Because we keep coming to this argument. I have heard people say, you know, after a certain amount of times of hormones, you lose bone density, muscle mass, so on and so forth. I am at the point now where I actually am ready to have this conversation with a medical professional. Like I need Dr. Oz. I need, you know, that's who I want to have this conversation with so we can finally put a button on this issue. Is it after 15 years of hormone therapy, then they have the bone density and the strength of a woman? Will they always have the strength of a man? These are things that we need to know definitively.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right. We have a lot of comments. CSJ Chicago says, if she was Black, they probably would have stopped her, pulled her awards and everything. Tanisha Leach says, so does she still have the male scholarship? Al, do you know if she still has the male scholarship?
She can't be swimming with the ladies with a scholarship. I don't think she would still have the men's scholarship, but that's how she got on the swim team, and obviously it was paying for her education.
All right. Well, maybe we will get a doctor one day and we'll talk about it. I know a lot of people in the chat saying, y'all doing a lot of trans stories. Listen, this is trending and it's a big deal. Something, if we ignore it, we're not doing it. We're doing a disservice. We have to talk about this and normalize these kind of conversations so we can get a better understanding. This is not to pick on them and the community. This is to have a better understanding and to talk about how we really feel. There's nothing wrong with talking about how we really feel about this.
And also shut the hell up. This show leans LGBTQ plus. Okay.
I mean, come on.
It leans that way. Hello.
Exactly.
Welcome back, Funky.
Like, don't start that mess tonight.
All right.